Good morning, ultimate hustlers and digital empire builders. It is that time for the Cortez Hustle Show. And today we got a wonderful show lined up for you. We're talking boys to men to entrepreneurs. We got a special guest in the building, Mr. Melson Spruill, founder of the Spruill Legacy. Listen, it's about to go down, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking to a brother who understands the importance of teaching and molding the young brothers in the areas of becoming men, but also becoming entrepreneurs so that they can feed their families. Dude is doing some amazing things out in the Stamford, Connecticut area. I can't wait to have this conversation with you guys. So do me a huge favor, comment in the chat where you're from, drop the name of your business and or your brand, and smash that share button, ladies and gentlemen. And let's kick it this morning. Yo, what's up, ultimate hustlers, and welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. Our goal is to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the world's greatest hustlers build amazing brands, scale their businesses to incredible heights, sell more, make more, and create mass movements that impact the world. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned vet or you're sitting on the sidelines with aspirations to one day unleash your inner hustle. This show will provide the insights into how pure grit, determination, and hard work has morphed into some of the most iconic brands and personalities and how they are moving the culture forward. You'll get a mix of solo shows featuring yours truly, as well as interviews and content from other hustlers that I either know personally or I've learned from or whose grind I've come to know and respect. And you'll also get exclusive recordings from our membership called Monetize My Life Academy, which you can check out at monetizemylifeacademy.com. That's a program where we go live every month with some of the best hustlers on the planet, sharing best practices on how we all can explode our brands with advanced branding and marketing tactics, business development strategies, and financial game planning necessary to build the empires we all desire. Again, that's at monetizemylifeacademy.com. If you like today's episode, chances are the hustlers you're connected to will like it as well. Share it with those in your network. And when you do, use hashtag Cortez Hustle so I can see you and hopefully give you a shout out and share you in my stories. So check out today's episode and make sure you subscribe to the feed on your favorite podcasting networks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur from the Black Bear Success Mastermind Studios right here in St. Louis, Missouri. If you're not familiar with the Black Bear Success Mastermind, it's a group where we literally bring the best practices. We teach, provide tools, resources to help you grow your business. Either you are looking to start a business, you already own a Black business and you're looking to grow and scale it, or you want to connect with and network with other Black entrepreneurs. Then if that is you, text the keyword mastermind to 314-866-4053. Again, text the keyword mastermind to 314-866-4053 to get your special invitation. We literally give you hundreds of dollars of free tools and resources every single week for you to grow your business. Today, we're talking boys to men to entrepreneurship, the importance of teaching entrepreneurship to our young people, but particularly our young men, and how to help them transition from those teen and young adult years to full-fledged manhood. We got Melson Spruill in the building, who's going to be sharing with us some of the things that he's doing out in the Stamford, Connecticut area to do just that, train these young men up in the way that they should go. A couple quick announcements before we bring Mr. Melson on. You guys may not know I used to do something every day called Midday Marketing Motivation, and I'm bringing it back, ladies and gentlemen. And today, I want you to make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to wherever you're watching this at, because that's where you're going to be able to see the midday motivation and marketing tip. And today we're talking video marketing, how to use video in your marketing. You don't want to miss this. Even if you don't like to be in front of a camera, I can still show you how to use video in your marketing and make it successful. Also, the lead generation system webinar has been pushed back until next week. I've got a couple things going on, man. I've got class on Tuesdays, and then my son is playing every Thursday and Saturday. It's messing me up a little bit, but I'm trying to find a spot for this webinar so that you guys can come and learn how I've over the last, I think 90 days using this strategy has generated over 300 leads, highly targeted leads for my business. And I want to show you this strategy that I'm using. It is flat out amazing. If you are a coach or consultant and you're struggling with keeping your calendar full, then this is the strategy that you want to deploy. I promise you, you'll never run out of people to talk to about your business ever again. So just keep me in your prayers, and I'm going to find a date that's going to work for everybody to come and join that thing. So without further ado, man, I want to bring to you guys this gentleman. He's doing some amazing things. He's the executive assistant director of the Black Mastermind Affiliate Group in Stamford, Connecticut. He's founder of Delta Omega Epsilon Incorporated out in Stamford, Connecticut, where he teaches young children, particularly young men, how to be men, and then how to look at entrepreneurship in a way that they can do it and feed their families. He's also part of a global telecommunications company with one of the fastest growing teams out in the tri-state area. So without further ado, let me introduce to some of you guys and present to others my good brother, Mr. Melson Spruill.
Hey.
Good morning, brother. How you feeling this morning?
Good morning. I'm feeling great. How about yourself?
I am feeling equally as great, my brother, and glad to have you on the show today. We love to really get into the stories and the behind the scenes of what makes the entrepreneurs tick that come on this show. But before we do any of that, we like to start with a quote of the day. And the way the quote of the day works is I share one of my favorite quotes, or usually a quote that I hear in the morning as I'm working out and going through my morning routine. So if you have a favorite quote, you can share yours, or you can comment on the quote that I'm going to share, and we'll just have a quick dialogue about that. But today's quote says this: sometimes you're not hitting your goals because you're carrying the weight of those around you. Sometimes you're not hitting your goals because you're carrying the weight of those around you. That is Dr. Jessica Houston, ladies and gentlemen. And to put it another way, Steve Harvey's father used to tell him all the time, everybody that came with you can't go with you, right? And sometimes we get caught up in trying to save everyone when we have barely saved ourselves. It is okay to focus on you and yours, but just don't forget when you make it to come back and throw that life raft out for other people. So, Melson, my friend, you want to comment on that one, or do you have a favorite quote that you like to share?
Well, I'm gonna comment right on that quote that you have there. That's a powerful quote right there. There was a time where I was just helping everybody, and my cup wasn't even full, to the point where I was losing energy. I was losing battles. I was losing this and that because I was just trying to help people. And don't get me wrong. We all want to help people. We all want to feel loved. We all want to feel less used in a way where we can, help the next man or woman. However, you have to sustain yourself. You have to fill your cup. You have to put whatever inside of you, what you can offer out there, because if you're not full, how can you offer to another person?
Yeah, man.
You gotta fill yourself up first.
Yeah, I think people miss that. There's a reason that God blesses us to the point that our cup overflows, right? If you know, I'm not a huge tea and coffee drinker, but when you have tea, they put the tea on the saucer. The reason they put the cup of tea on the saucer is because when you put your sugar in, you put your creamers in, you put all that stuff in, and you start stirring it up, then the tea is filled to the brim so that when you start stirring it, it's going to overflow. Well, you are supposed to give your blessings, or you're supposed to bless other people from your saucer, not your cup. And I think that's where we mess up at, is I'm giving people my cup. This is supposed to be for me, and it has yet to run over. So if it don't run over, I don't really have anything to bless other people with. But when it run over, anything that is in my saucer, you guys are welcome to it. And I think we've got to really understand that, because if none of us are building solid, stable foundations, and we're constantly helping each other. Well, I'm going to help you this month, but guess what? Next month, you're going to need to help me because I gave you my rent money to help pay your rent. Now I'm short, right? So got to be careful with that, man. Build your cup till it runs over and only bless people from the overflow of your saucer. That is the quote of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by Personal Branding 365. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are struggling with your personal branding and you want the tips and strategies that help me to build my Facebook page to over 120,000 followers, my YouTube is approaching about 5,000 subscribers right now. I want to bless you with this entire suite of products, $7.95. Go to personalbranding365.com. I promise you will not be disappointed. There's over $400 worth of bonuses that comes with the $8 ebook. I know it's bananas. My team is like, Cortez, when are you going to raise the price? I don't know, but soon. But right now, if you're listening to the sound of this voice, you probably can still go get it for $7.95. Go to personalbranding365.com. Melson, my friend, I ask everybody who come on to the Cortez Hustle Show this very question. So I'm going to ask it to you, my friend.
Right.
Who the heck are you?
Well, my name is Melson Spruill. I'm just a regular kid from the Bronx, New York, and I'm out here trying to win. And I say try because, not everybody wins the way they want to. Success is not built on that one thing. Success is different to everybody. So what I call successful, I'm breathing, I'm teaching, I'm learning, and I'm able to be out here to, give Black men, Black boys, a platform, and be your own brand, be your own self, because what you speak, what you put out into the world is going to come right back to you full speed.
Love it, love it, love it, man. So we're going to dive all the way into who Melson is. New York born, man. What is it like, man? I hear a lot of things. I actually spent a little time in New York where my mom migrated from the South. That was the first place she landed. She went from Nettleton, Mississippi, a little small town, to the big city of New York, right? It's like, talk about culture shock, right? So I spent a little time up in New York as a kid, man. But there's that New York state of mind, I think, is something that is very different. So walk us through you as a young man, right? What was life like? Two-parent household. How did you come up, and what was that like trying to navigate the big city?
Living in the city, it's a fast life. Everybody is busy. Everybody got somewhere to go. My experience was, I just was out. I was out in the schools. I hung out. I was always a part of the YMCA's. I was always in the areas where somebody needed help. New York is my home. It's very fast. They say if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. It's because of the mentality that we have, that hustle mentality to go out there and get it. If you don't come from anything, go out there and win. Go out there and get it. It's not going to be given to you. And being cool is everything, but being yourself is more. Yeah. And New York, it also gives you that feeling where you build your confidence, you build your swag, you build everything that most areas don't have. Why? Because we have the tools and resources to do that. However, when it comes to building a family, that's a different thing.
Okay, let's talk about that. So going through as a young man, so it looks like you were born in Brooklyn but raised in the Bronx. Help people understand the difference between the two boroughs, right? Like from what I can see outside looking in here in St. Louis, New York has its own state of mind, right? Its own culture. But then you have the boroughs, and each borough has its own state of mind and subculture, right? So you were born in Brooklyn, but raised in the Bronx. What was the difference between the two boroughs?
Well, the difference is one is over there and one is over there. But the difference is, Brooklyn has their own style. They feed more for the culture of, let's say, style, dressing, finessing, just getting what you got to get. And the Bronx, it's a different lifestyle. The Bronx deals with music, more culture. That's where hip hop was born. And you just want to dance. You just want to be positive. You just want to, be yourself to the point where it's going to shape you into the person you need to be. The Bronx, for me personally, growing up, was a smooth transition to moving out in Connecticut, and it's a very fast pace in the Bronx and in Brooklyn. And the difference is it's the culture. It's the culture. Two different places in the same space. It's a lot of territorial things. Oh, I'm from Brooklyn. No, I'm from the Bronx. Brooklyn, you're trash. The Bronx, you're trash. It's a lot of competition.
Yeah, I love it. So walk us through. You went through as a teenager going into young adulthood. Were you that kid who was an entrepreneur as a kid, or did you stumble into entrepreneurship later in life?
Well, I kind of stumbled into entrepreneur late in life. I went to school for the Clinton School of Artists and Writers, where I wasn't that cool kid. I wasn't always out there. I had a best friend. I do have a best friend. His name is Ryan Davis. Someone I was very close to. I was just living at that point. Just trying to fit in, trying to find my niche, trying to find myself and who I'm going to be as my identity into the world. And being an entrepreneur is not for everybody. I didn't find that out until years later when I was in Connecticut, when I had to, be around more entrepreneurial spirits, more people that was about business. Coming from the New York, everybody's about business. However, it's a different type of business and not legal, basically.
Yeah. A lot of street corner pharmacists and a lot of merchants, if you could say that, a lot of retail operations out of trunks and all that kind of stuff, man. But hey, man, I understand that those things are just a perversion of entrepreneurship. When you don't have the right people around you, just kind of, that spirit is in you and it's going to come out, whether it's going to come out in a positive way or it's going to come out in a negative way, it's going to come out. And a lot of times when we lack that direction, and that's why I love what you're doing with the youth, you're giving them the direction to say, hey, that entrepreneurial spirit does not have to come out in the expression of a drug dealer or a booster or a jack boy or any of those things. It can come out in a lot of different ways. So I love that. But about how old were you when you moved from New York to Connecticut? And I know that's all upper northeast in the country, so it's kind of a tri-state type of situation. But what led you to making that move, and about how old were you when you made that move?
Yeah, my parents they spent all their life in New York. So they basically wanted to change. So when I left New York, moving into the Bridgeport, Connecticut area, I was 17. I was still a kid. I was still a teenager where, I had to listen to mommy and daddy. And I was 1 year off of my, my next journey in life.
Gotcha. And for you, it sounds like you might have been junior, senior year of high school.
Yes.
So now you got to go into bring this New York swag into a Connecticut school and try to fit in with new friends and all that kind of stuff. What was that like for you?
It was a big culture shock. When I first moved to Connecticut, everybody words was different. Like the ERs, the ARs. Like in New York, we say Gary. Out here, they all say Gary. It was just, the speech was just very different. And the kids was much more, let's say, down to earth and slower. They was very playful, very, I'm gonna say, knowledgeable about the area, about what they're into, because in New York versus Connecticut, it's very close. However, the mindset of the individual is very rare and vast. It's very, I'm gonna say, slow versus turtle versus hare.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can relate, man. It's the culture is different and the pace is different. Like, and then the level of aggressiveness. Like New York people are aggressive with everything they do. Like you say hello aggressively, what's up? And I'm like bro, how you doing? It's aggressive. So I can imagine going to a place that's not aggressive like that, and still trying to feel, how it is. And so I love that, bro. But we're gonna take a different term real quick. Every day on the Cortez Hustle Show, I do something called 1 minute motivation. I'm so serious about personal growth and self-development in the positive direction that I try to bring some positive light to every show that we do. So 1 minute motivation, if you're new here, I'm going to play a short 60 to 90-second clip of a motivational compilation, if you will. And I just ask you guys to comment. If you're able to type in the chat, comment your takeaways. Melson, give me a takeaway or two. I'll give you a takeaway or two. But let's get into 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show.
You never look at yourself in the mirror and say, you let you down. Until you get to that point, you let you down. You're not brave enough. You want to put it on somebody else. The reason why I'm not successful is because of my boss. Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I'm not getting up on time. I'm not going to work on time. I'm not putting in 120% when I'm at work. I let me down. I have standards. I have values. I value myself enough to give 120%. Well, don't do it. That's the problem with some of you. You always want to blame other people. You want to hold other people to the fire, but you're not holding yourself to the fire. You need to tell you no more TV, no more snacks, no more dessert, no, we working out now. No more alcohol, not right now. I can't handle it right now. You need to tell you that you owe you something. You know what's so funny? We want people to make guarantees to us, but we're not willing to make guarantees to ourselves. And if you're going to be successful in life, if you're going to nail it, if you're going to go from good to great, you got to get to a point where you go from noun to verb. What does that mean? Action.
Cool. So you got to go from noun to verb. So the reason I love doing this, Melson, is because we all just listen to the same clip, but we all heard something different. So what did you hear, my friend?
Well, I heard what really stuck out to me was value yourself and basically accept your responsibility. It's very important that you don't put somebody else in the front of your destiny, put somebody else or blame somebody else of the reason why you're not getting it done. You have to accept your full responsibility. Anything that you do, it's on you. Anything anybody else do in your presence is on you, because you have that responsibility to attack what you have to do personally.
Yeah, and it's that simple, man. Let's see, Facebook user. Who is that Facebook user? Give me your name, because if you're commenting from the group, Facebook doesn't show me your name when you're in the group. That's growth when you can blame yourself. I'm telling you, are you putting in the word Mark? What's up? Good morning, brother. Are you showing up to your commitments? Listen, man, I like to say it like this. Until you can admit that you are the problem, you'll never realize that you are the solution. As long as you are blaming somebody else for anything that you don't have in your life, you're also saying that it is somebody else's responsibility for you to have those things, right? Will Smith has this great talk on YouTube. If you go on YouTube and type in Will Smith fault versus responsibility, one of the dopest things that I ever heard in the short, this is like 2-minute clip. You have to understand that you have the responsibility no matter whose fault it is, right? We like to point out quickly whose fault it is. Well, it's my parents' fault that my mom wasn't financially literate, so she couldn't teach me financial literacy, so it's her fault that I got bad credit. Yeah, it might be her fault, but it's my responsibility to do something about it, right? You might have been born to parents who are on drugs. Yeah, it was their fault that you had some rocky childhood, but it's your responsibility to deal with the hurt and the trauma that was caused by them. So you can spend your time blaming other people. It's just slowing down your ability to get to the solution. It is your responsibility to fix whatever is broken in your life, no matter who broke it, right? That's the thing. It doesn't matter who broke it. You have to fix it, right? So I love ET dropping that knowledge and those gems on us, ladies and gentlemen. So that, my friends, is 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by the Daily Hustle. The Daily Hustle is your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and free social media graphics and content marketing training every single day. Listen, text the keyword Daily Hustle to 314-730-3999. I know some people struggle with what to post on social media, when to post, how to post it, what to write in the caption. Well, guess what? I give you highly engaged professional graphics to post every day. I give you the captions, I give you the hashtags, and I teach you how to turn your social media following into leads and calendar appointments for you to grow your business. Text the keyword Daily Hustle to 314-730-3999. If you're struggling with your social media marketing, you don't have to struggle anymore. Just get on the list. I'll email you every day what to do, and all you got to do is follow those instructions. So, Melson, my friend,
Yes.
born in Brooklyn, raised in the Bronx, moved to Connecticut at about senior year in high school, and I'm guessing adulthood kind of took you through there. But it sounds like, bro, you had a lot of experience in hanging out with the YMCA's and different organizations who are pouring into you. Is that where you get your spirit of wanting to give back from?
Absolutely. Being around children, I've been around many children, autistic children, children that just was gifted. It was just crazy. Children that just wanted to win, but they didn't have the right circumstances. You had children that just, come from, bad situations, drugs, parents wasn't there, one parent household, and I just wanted to, feel that and take that very emotionally and hone that internally where I can just, build myself up and give the tools and the resources necessary for, a young child or a young boy to win. Because if I'm out here doing the same thing, I'm sure you can do the same thing slightly. What's going to make you better? What's going to make your family situation better? And how you going to use that information and that resource to make your children better?
Yeah, I love that, man. So you started this organization, Delta Omega Epsilon Incorporated. Tell everybody a little bit about what that is and the mission.
So Delta Omega Epsilon, I come from New York State. I went to school in SUNY Mooresville, upstate New York, and I followed my best friend and my sister, my little sister. We lost one of my brothers when I was around 14 years old to gun violence, and it really shaped me to the point where I wanted to be there for my sister. I wanted to be there for my best friend to show them what a brother really is. So being there. I pledged, I rose, a couple of positions, and I came out in Connecticut in 2013, and I founded my own situation. I'm a founding father today of Housatonic Community College and Yale University, where I only teach success practices. We teach how students and young men how to gain personality. We teach them the right importance of building your characteristics, fostering higher ideals, and also providing business training, because business don't have to be all about suit and ties and money. It can be about how you position yourself and you're pivoting through life, to teach another person successfully. There's many successful ways to teach a person, where you can do it in a group. Most people are motivated, by seeing someone implement the role that they're looking to fill. You basically, you want to move through life with the right people. You want to move in life with the circle that's going to take you to the top. And being in a fraternal organization, a lot of people join these type of organizations because of loss of family. They have an emotional detachment to the world that they're living in. And some people just, they just come just to hang out and have fun just because. And a lot of people, they search for leadership. Yeah. And when I went to my fraternity, I wanted to lead by being in the forefront, showing people like how to make money, how to make good decisions, how to respect your parents in your community, how to, be from poor into a winning mentality, how to be from the streets onto, that number one platform in business. Mm-hmm. So the fraternity really shaped me as an individual to be strong, because in a world full of weak people, you're only strong as your weakest link.
Yeah, I love that, man. And people forget that peer pressure isn't always negative, right? If you put someone who doesn't have the best mindset around 9 people who do, that peer pressure is going to shape that person to become more positive. The same is true if you put that one positive person in a group full of negative people, right? So it's not, I think people miss that, right? The reason our parents really paid attention to our friends is because they knew this through experience. If you keep hanging with that crowd, you're going to end up in somewhere you don't want to be, right? And they didn't say it, but they were trying to guide us to, no, hang with these people because these people are going somewhere. You may see them as nerdy, you may see them as uncool, but your parents saw them as focused, determined, ambitious. They were on a particular path, and your parents were trying to get you on that path. So it sounds like you're creating an environment that says, hey, bro, listen, you need to be around the right people and you need to plug in. And if you plug in, here are the resources that are available to you to help shape you into the young man, the same way that your fraternal brothers kind of helped shape you into the leader that you are. That's amazing. Let's talk about this entrepreneurship thing, though. Why do you think it's so important to teach entrepreneurship to these young men and give them business training?
So the initial core of that, I believe, is important for everybody to win. However, realistically, we understand that the mindset is a powerful thing, and everybody is not going to win, unfortunately. Being in this entrepreneur, you're going to sweat, you're going to cry, you're going to be waking up early, you're going to not know sometimes when your next meal is coming from, because you're putting all of that interest in your funds and that energy into your business. Entrepreneurship is a value to the community because it just shows you the opposite of a loser. It shows you the opposite of a person who doesn't want to win, who's going to be lazy. It brings out skills within you that you didn't even know you had when you were around the right people.
Yeah.
It's not only about the education, it's about pushing yourself to become a better person.
Yeah.
And you can do that simply.
I tell people all the time that entrepreneurship is about the entrepreneur, right? Now, we know that when you're an entrepreneur is basically someone who gets paid to solve problems, right? But the biggest problem, the biggest mystery in entrepreneurship is the individual entrepreneur, right? That figuring out that puzzle, right? How am I, Cortez, going to convey this message of economic empowerment that I'm trying to bring to the community? What are the best resources and how do I put that all together? I think that is probably one of the missing elements in the whole entrepreneurial journey. And most entrepreneurs don't discover that until they're 10 years in, 15 years in. You start realizing, wait a minute, I'm the problem that I got to solve. And then when I solve me as the problem, then my products and services will be better suited to solve whatever they're designed to solve. But it's a continual internal fight, right? We see entrepreneurship as competition sometimes, but we're not competing against other businesses. We're always competing against ourselves. How do we make ourselves better? And so that we can be better and show up better in our community. So I love that you are teaching the young men, business principles, character building principles, and helping them understand the importance of that. Because I remember as a youth, I didn't understand how important it was to be working on myself and my character and things of that nature. So that's a beautiful thing, bro. So what was your first entrepreneurial endeavor yourself?
Well, actually, it was ACN, All Communication Network. I was introduced this by one of my good friends and fraternity brother, Ryan Davis. Um, I specialize in relationship marketing. You know, people want to do business with people you love, trust, and respect. You know, and why not? You know, start with your best friend who always been there for you.
Yeah, gotcha. So with that and that relationship businesses, I believe wholeheartedly that all businesses are relationship businesses, and that's just kind of how business is done. It doesn't happen any other way. You got to first build a relationship, build a rapport, build a connection with people. So throughout all of everything that you've done, that was kind of the first thing that you did outside of founding the organization.
Yes.
Right. Walk us through the mindset of somebody who has never done business before, and now you're about to take this leap of faith. Right. There had to be some nervous jitters or something. Walk me through that final, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this after you kind of got introduced to that whole world.
Yeah. So when I was introduced to this platform, you know, I didn't have no business being in business. I didn't even know of business. What I knew was, you know, have good characteristics, you know, be yourself, always strive to win, and only those who succeed are successful. So with that, it was very scary in the beginning. I was very nervous, you know, I was sweating, you know. However, I had to really just jump in 2 feet in, because sometimes if you let that fear creep in, it's going to take you the other direction. And that first day, I was in Harlem, New York, and my mentor, Sonali, she sat down with me and Ryan, and we just went over all the people in my life, the A players, you know, people that wanted to win, people that they wanted to go out there and do what they have to do, the go-getters. So we wrote down all these people on a list, you know, just to organize ourselves and get our minds right. And we just started calling people, just saying, hey, do you look at other ways of making money? So from there, that was the key phrase. If you was business minded, you'll grab it. If you wasn't business minded, you will go around the question. You will ask any other question. And that's how we knew is what you was about. If you was into money or was you into something else. Entrepreneurship is really, it's either you do it or you don't. There's no in-betweens in life. And I believe everybody has that mature season where that light bulb is just gonna click.
Yeah.
I have to do this. I'm running out of time. I'm running out of energy. I'm running out of this and that. And I have to be able to provide by any means necessary. So my journey, it's been about 4 years now. And 4 years ago to now, I can truly say I'm a different person because of the people that I've been around, the people that I didn't see win. And it has a huge track record where a lot of people do quit. A lot of people do take breaks. However, I'm not a quitter, so I'm still here where a lot of people just gave up. And I don't give up on my dreams. And I don't give up of the dreams of others. Why? Because the dream that I fulfill is also going to fulfill someone else's dream.
Yeah, I believe that wholeheartedly, that we are all so interconnected that somebody is actually waiting on you to win in order to feel like they got permission to win, right? Somebody is sitting back saying, man, if Melson can do it, then I can do it. And they're not saying that about anybody else but you, brother. So that's a huge responsibility on you. But I know that world very well. I've built teams and really built. That's how I built my brand. I still have residual income from 2 different organizations that I built over the past few years. And talk about that fear that you felt, because so many people will let fear stop them, right? It's like Les Brown said one time, fear is a fact, but it's not a force, right? It's there, and you might as well recognize that it's there, but don't let it be a force to stop you. So sounds like you had a big enough dream to make you push through. But what would you say to someone who is in that industry, right? They're trying to build a business. They're trying to get good at sales. They're trying to talk to their friends about a potential opportunity, but they're kind of scared, right? And they're letting that fear masquerade as procrastination or something like that. How do you help people deal with that?
First, you want to do things in a group setting. Most humans are not programmed to do a lot of things by themselves. Why? Because we all have that one person we had to follow, or a couple of people that we had to follow. Life is scary, but life is not scary by yourself. If you have a group of people that's doing the same thing, boom, you're a winner. Why? Because the group is winning. If the group is winning, automatically you're winning. However, you have to put in your piece of the work. Fear. A lot of people don't do certain things because they let that fear creep in. They let the naysayers get to them. They let the fear of everything else in the future. They have anxiety of what's going to become. What if I'm going to fail? I'm going to say, hey, write everything down. We talk about $1 million scripts because if you have information in front of you, what do you have to be afraid of? You have it in front of you. You are prepared, you rehearsed, you practice, you have someone that's doing it with you, you have someone that did it before you, and you have people that's going to do it after you. So when you really understand the dynamics of proper preparation prevents poor performance, get it done. Just get it done. And if you feeling not motivated, there's many ways you can self-motivate yourself. There's friends, there's tools, there's books, there's devices. There's a lot of information out there where you can just curve anything that you're fearing.
Yeah. And I love that, do it in a group setting, right? We sometimes don't want to be in a group setting of fear of being judged. But when you're around the right people, they want to see you win. So they're going to cheer you on like nobody's business, right? And sometimes that's all we need is a little bit of encouragement. Or if things don't go well, we have people around to say, man, shake it off and let's move on to the next one. So I love that as a principle and a strategy. But I want to talk a little bit about the Black Mastermind Group, bro, that you guys are building out there in the Stanford area. You and I met through this Black Mastermind Group,
Yes.
Founded by our illustrious leader, Dr. Danetta Watson. And the whole mission of this organization is to help Black businesses become sustainable, profitable, and fundable so that they can scale into community institutions that hire people so that we can transform our communities. And you are on the leadership team out there in the Stanford, Connecticut. What has being a part of the Black Mastermind Group meant to you personally as an entrepreneur? And then what are you guys building out there in the Stanford area?
Well, one thing I can say about the Black Mastermind Group is powerful. We have a bunch of entrepreneur leaderships, business owners who already understand what it takes to win. And they're looking for, or we're looking for, others that's probably on that winning trail. They still need a little help. They might need a little bit of encouragement. So we just want to take the area of Stanford, Connecticut by storm. My leadership team is directed by our Renell Juice Kings, where I met him through my wife, and she's also the marketing director. So with this 3 people and along with Doris, we're just forming an ecosystem. We're working together day by day. We brainstorm, we mastermind good leadership skills, strategies that's going to help us win first so we can help others win. It's just been a great journey so far, just working with other Black masterminds to the point where you feel successful already. You feel confident that we're going to win. It might be a lot. However, we're going to get it done. I'm just going to use the word powerful together.
Yeah. And I love that. For me, I'm on a mission to help Black people become the #1 employer of Black people in the next 2 generations. And I'm doing that through my marketing company, which is one side of the coin, because as Black businesses, we don't always have a marketing budget. We don't always understand marketing. We don't understand how to get our message out there. We don't understand how to leverage social media and things of that nature. So I was thinking to myself, man, I'm going to help these Black businesses with their marketing. They're going to get so many customers. They're going to make so much money that they're going to have to grow and hire Black people, right? What I did not know, though, and this is where Dr. Danetta Watson came in, she said, Cortez, they can make the money. That's not the problem. If their business is not structured properly, if they don't have business financial literacy so that they can be fundable as businesses and go out and sit across from a banker or an investor to get those infusions of capital that they need to grow, they're not going to grow beyond being a mom and pop situation. So from your standpoint, as you have gone through the classes and started to dissect where you could be, how has that made an imprint on your own individual business to see that, oh, here are some things that I need to be doing to make sure that my business is fundable so that they can grow and scale, right? What are some of the things that you're learning in that class that's helping your own individual business?
Well, some of the things that I'm learning is basically it's about the numbers. You can scale any business, but if you don't know your numbers, nobody's gonna, push forward with it, because if you don't know your products, you don't know your services, you don't know how to scale it properly from year 1 to 3, you're gonna simply lose. It's just gonna fall. It's gonna be like you're building a sandcastle, and it's gonna crumble because it's built quick. However, it wasn't, structured correctly. And the books that we read, and one of the books is called The Expert Secrets. And the reason why I love this book is because it's the process of shifting from learning to teaching. At a certain point, you want to continue learning, where we begin to share what we know. And true growth and fulfillment comes from helping others, just like you, get ahead of where we are. It's powerful. And one thing I can say, the Black Mastermind Group, with the whole ecosystem that we're building, we're trying to connect with each other. We're trying to get back on top, to the point where we come to each other for resources. We don't have to go outside our network or our creed to get anything, because we want it from ourselves. We want to feel powerful. We want to feel valuable. We want to feel knowledgeable. And knowledge starts with whatever you're doing to scale your business. Anything that you're looking for, it has a right formula for it. And Dr. Danetta Watson is teaching us the formulas, teaching us the information, so we can be able to scale any type of business.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing, man. Historically, Black people have not been given access to capital when it comes to business, right? We can get access to capital when we want to buy a car, but we can't borrow that same money to start a business, right? We can get a loan to buy a home, but again, we can get a loan to finance college, but we can't get a loan for businesses. And that is two prongs. It is historic and systemic racism and prejudice, but also it is a lack of knowledge on our part to build the right infrastructure that lending institutions are looking for in a business, right? There's over $300 million sitting in the Small Business Administration's bank account set aside for Black businesses, but it's sitting there because Black businesses can't qualify because they don't have any employees, right? So I love that she's helping us lay the foundation to build the type of business structurally that makes us fundable. So Melson, we are at my second favorite segment of the show that we call freestyle, my friend, because I know you got bars, bro. You can't be born in Brooklyn, raised in the Bronx, and not be able to spit fire, bro. It just don't work like that, right? No, freestyle is not about rhyming, even though I could drop I could drop a beat if I had to, right? No, freestyle is where, as I'm building this multi-billion-dollar international media conglomerate, starting with this podcast, I don't always ask the right questions. The conversation doesn't always go where we want it to go. So I want you to take a minute or two and either reiterate something that you feel is important that needs to be said, or if something we haven't touched on yet you feel is important that you need to say. This is why I call it freestyle. So I want you to speak freely from your heart, bro. Anything that you want to share with the people, hit them with your best bars.
Thank you. Simplicity. Live life simple. You know, I feel like we have a lot of information growing up to the point where it's not even used properly. There's a lot of information that's stored in our brains where it's not programming us to win. So simple life. What's a simple life? You know, you're home, you have that niche, you have your creative flow, you have your hobbies, and then you have whatever's going to make you money. Whatever make you money, whatever is your passion, you go for it. You know, if somebody connect with people that's going to help you. You want to connect with people who already done it. You want to connect with people who want to inspire to be like you and that next person. And it starts with organization. It starts with planning and having the right resources and tools right next to you, you know, because if you have the hammer and you have the nail, you have the wood, you can build a solid foundation and you just go from there and just keep scaling. Living a simple life. Don't take too much on your plate, because responsibility is great, but too much responsibility can hinder you.
I love it. Drop the mic, man. That is freestyle right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, the Melson Spruill version. Loving this conversation, man. Live a simple life, man. Focus on those things that are important to you. I think one of the things that we are challenged with, bro, is putting ourselves first. Like we really gotta understand that it is okay to put yourself first and do what is right for you, irregardless to what other people are going to say or think about what it is that you are doing. I am building an empire, and if you don't like it, you can kick rocks. And I love what you said. Get around people who, if they are not going to help you, at least they're going to support you. But if you're not going to help or support, then I ain't got no room for you. I don't have any room for you. So tell everybody how they can connect with you, bro. If they want to get mentored by you and your organization, if they want to join you and make some money, if they are already in business out there in the Stamford, Connecticut area, and they want to connect with the Black Mastermind group that you guys are putting together out there, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Well, we do have a website where you can follow us, the Stanford Black Mastermind. You can also go to the Black Mastermind group where we have our information there. You can follow our names. You can also reach out to me on Melson Spruill Legacy, Melson Spruill Sr on Facebook. And my counterparts, we got Juice Kings, where that's where our headquarters is at. And if you have a good smoothie, if you want a good smoothie, check it out in Juice Kings.
Love it, love it, love it. So the Spruill Legacy, that acnido.com is the website. theblackmastermindgroup.com. You can go there and find out more about the Stamford, Connecticut affiliate group. If you're out in the Stamford area, these brothers are doing some amazing things, and they're putting together a dope ecosystem where you're going to get loved on, but at the same time, you're going to get challenged to bring out the best in you, because in order for our business and our communities to thrive, we need the best of you, right? So you need to be around people who are going to bring out the very best in you. And that's what the Black Mastermind Group is all about. So Melson, my friend, thank you so much for your time this morning and your openness and willing to share freely from your heart what it is that you believe about business, about entrepreneurship, your mentorship program. I'm super excited that you are helping young men to understand the power in being individuals of high character, and then at the same time introducing them to entrepreneurship, which I believe is the shortest distance between true economic freedom in this country is through entrepreneurship. So that's going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Until we talk to you next time, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.